Now in this section I want to continue my discussion and go to policy-based routing concept and give you some examples of policy-based routing. I have changed the routing protocol on all routers, and I have selected EIGRP for every interface, and you can see the configuration that I have enabled on all of my routers. I have removed OSPF and EIGRP first, and again I have enabled router EIGRP AS number 100, no auto summary, and every interface is going to be under EIGRP 100 process. Okay, let's go back to my topology here. Because I don't have OSPF, I'm not worried about the inter-area or intra-area traffic and routing for that. I guess EIGRP is a better topology for talking about this policy-based routing here. Okay, let's go and start discussion. So if I want to send some traffic from, for example, switch 1 to switch 2, you know that switch 1 will take the traffic to router 2, router 2 will take it to router 1, and this is because router 1 and router 2's interface are Ethernet interface that are high-speed interface, and they are chosen over the serial interface that goes to router 3. Then router 1 will send the traffic directly to switch 2. Now I want to change this. I want to have my traffic go to router 2, and after that go through the serial interface to router 3 and then go to switch 2. You know that this is a low speed connection, but in this specific circumstance I want to have such thing. So I need to change the default behavior. First of all, let's check the traffic flow from switch 1 to switch 2. If I go to switch 1, and first of all I need to check the IP routing table, you can see that I have every route in my routing table. So let's go and trace one of these routes, 110.166. It will trace the traffic to router 2, that is the default, and after that it goes to router 1 and then to switch 2. Now I want router 2 to change this behavior. If I have some specific traffic from switch 1, for example, a kind of traffic that goes from switch 1 to switch 2, I want to direct it to serial interface. And let's go to router 2 and do this. I want to use an extended ACL, and this extended ACL is going to be used for my traffic selection. So I go to configuration mode first and create an IP access list extended, and I'm using extended because I can select the source, destination, traffic type, that is the protocol, or anything else that I want to. So I name it PBR, and I permit only one type of traffic. That's going to be IP. That means any traffic that is IP based, and its source is going to be, for example, host 110.155. That means only this IP address is going to be selected as the source, and for destination I'm going to select 110.166 and hit enter. Now I'm filtering just one traffic, the traffic that is originated from loopback interface of switch 1, and it is destined to loopback interface of switch 2. So I'm going to create a route map here, and this route map is named PBR, and it has permit 10 as the first phrase, and it matches the IP address, that is the access list PBR. And anything that is matched with this access list is going to go through a specific interface. So I set, and I have 4 options. The first option is set interface. It tells me to set this kind of traffic to this interface. I can have set default interface. This means that look at your routing table. If you can find the route, that's okay. If you cannot find the route, set this type of traffic to this interface that I'm assigning. And the next 2 options are set IP next hop and set IP default next hop. Again, set IP next hop tells me to set the next hop of this type of traffic to the exact thing that I'm assigning here. And set IP default next hop tells me to look into my routing table. If I can find the route, that's okay. If I cannot find the route, I will use this destination that I'm selecting here. So I'm going to set interface first. I'm going to use serial 00. Hit enter. Now make sure that the type of interface that you're selecting is point-to-point interface. I'm selecting serial interface, and I'm sure that this is point-to-point because it is not using several deltas. But if I was to use the interface on serial on router 3, that would be a problem, because on router 3 I have a multi-point interface, and that's not okay. So I went to router 2. Let me create another line. Route map PBR permit 100, and there is no set or match under this route map because the other traffic are going to be permitted, and if I do not add this line, any other traffic will be denied. So let me check route map, and you can see that I have a match clause, I have a set clause for this match clause, and the other line tells me to route other traffic based on routing table. Okay, now let's go to interfaces. I want to enable this under the incoming interface. So router 2's incoming interface for this type of traffic is fast00. So I need to enable this under fast00. I go to interface fast00. Now I need to enter just one line of command, and that's IP policy, and then I need to assign a route map. The route map name is PBR, and PBR, that's it. Hit enter. And now I want to see the result of the two trace routes. So if I trace 110.166, because the default source will be my VLAN interface, you can see that I received the same result as previous, but now I want to use this trace route, and I want to select the source, and the source is going to be loopback 0. So I'm specifying 110.155 as the source, and you can see that here I am changing the default behavior. You can see that it goes through a serial interface, but because the serial interface has no mapping for this destination, I am receiving these timeouts values. So that's okay. You can see that it is working just fine, but that's a matter about the mapping on router 2. So if I go to router 2 and add a mapping for this interface, that would be nice, but I'm not going to do this. So let's see the running config of serial in 00 interface. You can see that I have mapping for these, but I don't have any mapping for 110. Let me add one just to show you that this is working. Frame relay map IP. Of course this is not scalable and this is not good, but just to show you that this is working, I'm just doing this. 110.166 is going to use DLC 203, and that's it. Hit enter. Frame relay map. Actually I'm under serial 00. I need to assign it to this. And on the other side, router 3 will need to have such command: show run interface serial 00. Shows me every mapping that I have here. Go to configuration mode, and I need to remove this IPO SPF network type because I'm no longer need this. No interface serial 0. Now I need to add a frame relay map IP 110.155. It is going to use 302, and that's it. Now if I try the trace route, that's working just fine, and I just showed you that the PBR is working here.